Hello and welcome to Thoughts from the Green Room with your host, Jeff Mays. First of all, I want to apologize for not being consistent with my posts, and at the same time that I offer my apologies, I'm kind of glad that I have to offer those apologies because I've actually been too busy working on various sets, practicing roles, and getting ready to actually shoot a couple different characters for some feature films lately. And that is what has kept me away from making these posts. Of course, doing all that work recently has rolled me forward into this week's topic, which is taking the plunge. Now, for those of you who have been following my blog, you may recall some time back I talked about the idea that things happen in their time. And at one point in my life, I used to say, hey, I'm going to do fill in the blank, and then it would be months upon months upon months before I'd actually get to do whatever it was that I said I was going to do. And of course, I used to judge myself for that length of time that I didn't follow up immediately on what I said I was going to do. And you may recall in the blog that I spoke about the realization that everybody does things in their time. It's a process, and that process is important. For me, part of the process is voicing it and then ruminating and thinking on what I've said aloud before I get to it. The second thing that you may remember is not too long after that post, I offered the idea of being ready. That having done this process to get to a stage to move, you then have to be ready to move. You have to have made the acceptance that all that thinking has got you somewhere where you can no longer stay there. You have to be ready to, put on a raincoat if you need to go outside and it's raining, as compared to being, all right, I'm set, I've done it. It's raining, I'll skip it for today. No, you got to be able to mentally be prepared for that. And you put those two things together, and I really feel that as much as they are important, they fall short and they require a final and a third step. And that third step is taking the plunge. The analogy that I like to use is jumping off of a cliff. You say to your friends, hey, I'm going to jump off the cliff, and they all laugh at you or cheer you on, whichever way it goes, and it takes time to walk up the path to get to the top of the cliff. Now, at the top of the cliff, before you throw yourself off, you have to mentally prepare. You have to be ready to do so. You get right up to the edge, you stand there, you look down beneath you, and you have to be ready to actually do the thing. And of course, the final step, having taken the time to get up there, having taken the time to mentally prepare and be ready, you now have to take the plunge. When you take the plunge, folks, it is the thing that sets in motion all the change. And change, for me, happens instantaneously. It is the moment of leaving the cliffside to the moment of hitting the water. It's instantaneous, a couple seconds. The process building up to change occurring, now that takes time. That's the labor, that's the work that's involved. And I'm at the stage now that I want to share with you the idea of taking the plunge. I, as an artist, see this as very valuable. It is the idea of preparing yourself for changes in what you do as an artist, taking the next step and receiving in information to grow. It is the mental preparedness to say, I've got to let go of or learn how to incorporate what I used to do into this new thing, and then taking the plunge is doing that new thing. Artists, I believe, go through this regularly, but like all of my blogs, I believe this is a universal thing that we do, that everybody does. And for you out there, my viewer, who may not be an artist, it could be that idea of moving from one home to another. It may be asking out that perfect person or the person you think is the perfect person who you've been afraid to ask out and you've been thinking about it for months upon months. It may be confronting a boss for a raise. It may be changing jobs in general. I don't know what it is for you, but I believe that you go through the same process of stating it in some fashion and taking time to gestate, getting to the state of gestation being finished and doing final mental preparation and being ready to make the motion. And then you have to walk into the boss's office and ask for that raise, or agree to and actually get the broker to sell your house, or walk across the hallway and ask that perfect person out. Whatever it is, it's all the same process that we as actors do. And that brings me around, of course, to this week's challenge. For those of you who may have been reflecting on the past thoughts that I've offered up, well then, maybe you're at the place with me. to take the plunge. Jump off that precipice this week, folks, and take the plunge. For those of you who may not be there, who may not have been reflecting and aren't yet ready, it's time to take it seriously, folks. Think about what it is that you need to change and work your way through the stages so that you can take the plunge. And that is your challenge for the week. Get there and take the plunge. Ladies and gentlemen, those are your thoughts from the green room with your host. Yeah, that's me, Jeff Mays. Barring any filming, and there are some more things on the books, I'll see you in 2 weeks.